Up with Maddie. Joining us again is Gracie, Evan, and Katie. This episode of Growin Up, we'll be talking about some of our favorite and least favorite memories from high school, expectations versus reality, our thoughts on high school based from movies, family versus reality, and more. To start us off, what are some things that you guys did in middle school that you wish that the high school had?
Recess. Yes. I feel like, I don't know, they don't give us enough breaks, and especially considering how short lunch is too. I feel like we should at least get not another study hall. We should actually get to leave the school for a little bit.
Actually, the thing is that it's only available for seniors, which I understand that because they're essentially grown-ups and more responsible, I guess. But then at the same sense is, why is lunch only 20 minutes long? Because half the time you're getting there after the bell rings, because some study halls are on the whole other side of the whole school.
Yeah.
Like, is there anything else based on just other than breaks?
Homeroom. Homeroom was nice. I hate having to jump into a class immediately.
No, I didn't like homeroom at all.
Why?
Okay, actually, it depends, because sometimes I hate how long first period is. But then at the same time, homeroom, it was just so boring, and I just waited for it to end. And the whole point of it, at least in my perspective, was just to watch some stupid, but I did like it because then you just had, a teacher to talk to, I guess.
I liked it because I got to marinate for a little bit before I had to go talk to people. Marinate.
Did you like the last day of 8th grade?
What did we even do on the last day?
It was not like weird fun day thing.
Yeah.
It was like all
I had
fun tasks.
Oh my god, was Denison Park fun? Did you enjoy it compared to the other fun days of middle
We
school?
went to
Definitely.
Denison Park.
Yeah, because we actually got
Were
to
you there?
Did you watch any high school movies that affected your perspective?
I Rival would begin the first one.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that. Is it bad?
No, it's no, but I don't know. It didn't try to sugarcoat. Oh, middle school and high school is gonna be this great thing. It was oh, teenagers suck.
High School Musical.
High school.
Okay, so High School Musical, did you think it was all gonna be la la la?
Yes.
Really?
Were people gonna start singing in the hallway?
Okay, but Diary of the
alright.
Wimpy Kid, did you were you on the shit that you were just gonna get bullied?
Yeah.
First being a wallflower.
Really? I've never seen that. I've seen the book and I wanted to read that. What is that about?
It's about this kid, he's a freshman, Charlie, and then he gets to high school and he has new friends. So he becomes friends with upperclassmen, and they're really mean.
So how did that mean your perspective change?
I don't know, it just shows this progression through high school and how much different it is.
What are some things you guys, back to episode 1, what are some other things that you guys liked about middle school?
It's Pearsall.
What?
Mr. Green.
I mean, yeah, there was a few teachers that I missed, but
The final weeks and days of middle school. Did you like them? What did you like about them other than finally getting out of middle school?
I like the fact that teachers started not caring. They'd throw busy work at you, but the busy work was really easy and they really graded it, and it just became a lot more chill,
Relax.
relaxed. You didn't have to worry about much at the end of it.
I think I liked because it was just fun and I liked the environment, I guess. Is there anything you guys miss? Cause
Mr. Green.
okay, other than Mr. Green, has there been anything?
I don't know. I feel on one hand, I felt like you could goof off more in middle school, but at the same time, it was looked down upon more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in high school, it's oh, if you goof off, that's your problem, and you're gonna have to deal with it. But it was really fun. I just missed goofing off with my friends.
I miss that too. I miss not the memories, but just the environment, I guess. Yes, the environment was toxic to an extent, but then you also didn't have as many expectations, I guess. In high school, you just have that constant fear, not fear perchance, but you're like, so like I'm graduating in a few years,
Yeah.
so it's like,
Reality starts to hit.
yes, and I think middle school, it's like older version of elementary school, so it's like you can still kind of goof off. You'll just look down upon and look like an idiot.
I think
Yeah.
my biggest part was that since it was still, like you said, just like a bigger version of elementary school kind of, you weren't separated by like intelligence or skill like you are now. So you
Mhm.
had more classes with like friends. And now you just get separated depending on like anything.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So like you said, like was there teachers that made a really big impact on you, and like what did they like? How did they impact you?
Mr. Green.
Okay.
Other
Mr.
than
Wax.
Mr. Really?
Yeah.
Shut
How did
up.
Honestly, I liked Mr. Wax.
Honestly, I did too. I seen him as like a father figure, to be honest.
Like he acts like my dad in a way.
Yeah.
I never wanted to your dad does.
Yeah, I never want to meet that.
I don't know.
I think he just seemed like a father figure, and I think what really opened my eyes was the fact that he called me kiddo, and he was the first teacher that called me mad, and really only my family calls me mad, so I guess it was like, I don't know. Him and Miss Pearsall, were like not really parent figures, but they were like I lost trust in teachers, so it was like I need to back.
As much as I really didn't like him, I kind of agree with Maddy on that one. Like,
Yes, thank
they
you.
were like, Miss Pearson's classroom, Mr. Wax's classroom, they were always together, so when I went to either of their classes, they would always just be there. So I kind of agree with Maddy.
Like, I felt like even though he put up this whole front about how, like, if you
Yeah, he pulled up like an aggressive front, but then like,
I felt like I could talk to him.
yes, I could, you know, like I did. One day I went crying to him about how I failed an algebra test.
And Miss Pearsall, I don't know,
Yes.
they were very comforting people
I
because
sobbed to her on the last day of school.
they didn't come off nearly as much as, like,
Mm-mm.
teachers as others did,
Yeah.
but I don't know, they were good, I liked them. And Mr. Green, if you're watching this, please
I
come
think
back.
I think they had a good balance between joking around with you and then like
Teachers-
setting a boundary.
Yeah, some
Romeo
teachers just
voice.
let things happen,
Mhm.
which also causes a problem.
Or they try to act all tough and we're like,
Twice.
Shout out to Mr. Green for stealing my music tastes.
you guys have obviously talked about Mr. Green. Like, what were the impacts that he made?
He tied my tie.
Really?
Yeah.
For what?
Oh, it was like fancy day.
He was the most father figure out of like any
Really?
male
How?
teachers I've ever had.
He
Like,
actually
was
cared to make a
nice.
bond with people.
yeah, like he
Yeah.
tried, even with the kids that didn't even really like him, he tried to make a connection. He tried to at least make the tiniest connection with
Yeah, I
them.
do agree. He didn't try to make a connection with me, and then
Like,
I was just in a phase.
I feel like most teachers separate the good kids and the bad kids, and then there's like the in between.
Yeah.
There was just kids to Mr. Green.
Like,
Yeah.
Mr. Green actually cared about his job, and he cared about the students, and he cared about everything. That was the biggest thing. He cared. He was a good teacher. Like, it wasn't just work. If you missed, like, multiple assignments, it wasn't like, you need to do my work. It's like, hey, is something going on?
He stayed after school until 6:30 with me one day because I was sick for a while in 6th grade, and then I missed a lot of assignments, and like from 3 to like 6, he just stayed after school with me and helped me do work.
Yeah, he was very.
He was determined to get me to get that work turned in.
Yeah, I think more teachers should be like that because I can even see it myself. Like, yes, I'm a goody two shoes, but I can see it myself when students are getting discriminated against because of how they act or because of a single grade. When there's like many that just they struggle in school. School isn't their thing.
Bad students aren't bad kids.
Yeah. I think even like adults do that. I feel like and not even just with teachers, I feel like just period, you need to like just look at a person for themselves instead of a
Yes.
grade. So on a separate note, do you feel any relief from leaving the middle school?
Yes.
Yeah,
People
Really?
were so immature in the middle school.
they are now too.
Yeah.
I have more friends.
What about you, Evan? Do you feel any relief?
A lot.
Really? How so? Like, what type of relief? Is it the people,
Yeah.
the grades?
Yeah.
Like, you guys have said the people. Like, do you think people were more mean in middle school?
It's equal.
I think a big part of it is, we touched on it last time, but they had just gotten into like the, oh, you have more freedom aspect of school, so they
Yeah.
just thought they could get away with more and do more, and they thought they were more mature.
The, like, school, maybe not the people, do you feel any relief at all? I guess, when that makes any sense.
The hallways were so loud in the middle school.
They still are.
They're not as bad as they were.
No, I think the reason why the high school isn't is because of the hallways. I think because of how the school built. So we said that movies had affected our perspective to high school. But what were some things that older siblings, family members, and just adults in general told you about high school?
So my brother went here like 3 years previous, and made it seem fun. Like he was in pep band and he played at rallies and stuff. Shut up. And I don't know. And then my parents, my mom, really, she's like me. She worried about her grades a lot. Like she's very smart.
Yeah.
But my dad is the complete opposite, and he went through the entire thing just like focusing more on the social aspect, and it just made it seem like it was gonna be fun, but at the same time, I did know the workload was gonna get worse.
Yeah.
When I joined color guard in 7th grade, everybody else was in the middle school or the high school, so I kind of already knew my way around the high school, and I knew people that were into the high school, so they kind of just like would tell me the realness about it.
So we said that we had watched movies and books.
You can't watch
No.
books.
Well, even like read books, sorry. That and even was told things that affected our perspective on high school. But how did they affect you?
I was really scared.
What were you scared about
I
in
don't know.
particular?
Like you said earlier, like the whole bullying part, like movies and
So, were you bullied in middle school that made you think that?
I wouldn't say bullied. I don't know, just the people and stuff, like.
Just drama. Yeah.
Did you think the drama and stuff that happened in middle school would like lead on
Yes.
to
Yes.
really?
Because it did.
It did.
Did, like, other than the bullying, what else, how did those movies affect your perspective? Did you think it was going to be easy, like the workload? Did you think it was going to be, like, stacks of, like, millions of papers?
I expected the workload to be a lot more, but I didn't expect it to be like, ooh, kind of workload.
Depends on the class you take, but
Yeah.
I think my work's kind of even.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really care about my grades too much, sue me, but I don't think I got that much assignments.
Like, compared to middle school, or just?
Yeah, I think it's about the same.
Really? What were, like, fears that, or things you were nervous about in high school?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, this is such a big school, and it's actually not that big of a school.
Once you get used to it, but I
Yeah.
think coming from, like, yes, our middle school was big compared to others, but we considered it small compared to our high school.
Yeah, the high school wasn't really even that big. Like, it's just a bunch of hallways that are all just connected. So you walk in one hallway, you're gonna find your class.
And, like, don't be
The
afraid.
entire upstairs is one entire square.
Yeah.
So
You can't be afraid to ask, like, upperclassmen for help to find classes either.
Did those movies, okay, back to the subject of other things or other sources that, like, you've seen or were told, did they help any?
No.
no, there's like no actual real movie that describes the actual aspect of high school.
Because
A?
everyone has a different
Yeah.
experience.
Because all high schools are different. Everybody has their own high school. Everybody has a different high school experience. But also, like, their movies, they're gonna be a little dramatized.
Will media also help you? Because we're like surrounded by it now.
I think social media really didn't help because, I don't know, it felt like anytime you try to like go to the comments of something and it's like, guys, I'm going into high school, anything I should know, the only things you would see is the negatives.
Yeah. Everybody always brings out the negatives and rarely the positives. Like, yeah, there are a lot of negatives about high school. There's also a lot of positives.
What are some of the positives?
New people, there's a whole new environment to be in.
New things to do.
New things to do.
Mm-hmm.
You start getting to the age of where you, like, get to do things out in the real world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now I'm 16, I have a job, and I'm gonna get my permit soon.
Now you finally experienced it. How were the things that were told to you or that you watched were different than reality?
So many people told me things that I've never experienced.
So, I don't know, a lot of it was like, oh, freshman year is going to be your most drama-filled year. And yes, while there is drama in it, like I said, it's subjective, but yeah, it's subjective, but I don't think there's nearly as much drama as I was told there was going to be in my personal experience. But that and I don't know. It kind of reminded me of the scene from, like, when I was told about high school, all I could think of was the scene from Captain Underpants where they're marching one by one into
Yes.
school. And it's really not like that at all.
Okay. Were those things any truthful?
Or what thing's truthful?
Like the things that you watched, maybe not watch, because we all agreed that it wasn't really reliable.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the things that you were told, were they truthful? And were they similar or to reality?
I think I've created my own high school experience. Like, I'm sure stuff that has happened has been a shared experience, but I don't think, like, a lot of it, things didn't turn out as what they were said.
Yeah, again, I've said this so many times, but everybody has a different high school experience.
Yeah.
Some share other similarities and some don't, but, like, some things that my siblings have told me have happened to me already, but some things they also told me have not happened to me yet. But, like, we also still have 3 years to go.
Was there anything that you guys did during middle school, like a club, sport, etc., that you have continued to do this year? What was those activities, and what made you start doing those activities?
I don't do any extracurriculars.
I didn't do many in middle school. I did Pride Club and something else.
Oh, me
but-
too, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't remember. I do know as I've gotten into high school, I've wanted to do more extracurriculars. Like, I got into the drama club and I actually stuck with it for a good chunk of time. And I wanted to do it in middle school, but I never did. I'm probably going to end up doing a sport next year too. Like, it's just, high school seems like a better time to get into that kind of stuff. I know in middle school, when you, like, the younger you are and when you get into teams, you'll know those people. Like, you'll know those people that have been on your team and will be on your team for forever. But I don't know. Middle school wasn't a very extracurricular time for me.
Yeah, I really focused on, like, schoolwork in middle school that I only was really in one club. And I did drama club 6th and 7th grade, but then I quit it in 8th grade because it got too busy. So,
Was there anything, like hobbies, that you guys started in middle school, or things that were introduced in middle school that you're like, hey, this is my thing, and now you have done it this year?
Outside of school, I know the archery unit in gym class got me to actually get into
Yeah.
archery. Like, I actually have a bow now.
Hey, Robin Hood.
And, like, it's a thing that I practice relatively regularly. And I know Shout out Miss Goldwyn, because she's still here. But when I had her back in 7th grade, she really got me into art, and I still like that. Mr. Green, if you're watching this, please come back. He got me into a lot of the music that I listen to as well.
So, was there anyone that really influenced you on who you are today in middle school?
Myself.
How was that?
I feel like, I just,
So do you,
I kind of agree with Katie. Like, you're your biggest supporter. You know yourself your best. You actually know what's going on inside your mind. Like, you can tell people what's going on, but like, they don't fully get the grasp of what's happening. You have to be your biggest supporter throughout everything.
I wouldn't say put yourself before anybody else, but I would say listen to yourself before you listen to anybody else.
and what's that?
I don't know, I feel like your brain's always gonna know what's right, so what's wrong.
I personally took a lot from my brother, like a lot. Like his music, his style. I don't know. He made a big part of me. I stole my parents' music taste and style too. And I don't know. A lot of the teachers that we already mentioned, like, I don't want to say made me a better person, but they did teach me some lessons that I have brought with me too.
What were some of those lessons?
I don't know. Yeah, Mr. Wax was really heavy on not procrastinating on work, which did me well because I don't procrastinate nearly as much as I used to. Mr. Green taught me to go with the flow. Our classes were so chaotic, at least the one that Katie and I was in. And he never really flipped out. Like, he was a very calm individual. So yeah, Miss Pearsall didn't teach me how to stand up for myself, but she solidified a lot of it because, like, she's really intimidating sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was scared of her.
She's.
I was probably more scared of her than I was scared of Mr. Wax.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I don't know, it's just because she knew how to, like, keep the class on task, and she was a great teacher. I don't think I'm not really memorable, but, you know, she was great.
I feel like a lot of the 8th grade teachers kind of like, not just Mr. Wax, like, but what Gracie said. A lot of the teachers were like, you need to get this in, you need to get this in, you need to get this in. But like a lot of my 6th and 7th grade teachers were like, get it into me soon. But like, I feel like the 8th grade teachers did a lot to set you up for high school, and a lot of the teachers are like, get it into me when you can. But like, they were all, you need to get this into me now.
Like, Mr. Wax, he was very stern on deadlines, but he worked around, like, sick days and stuff like that. When I had gotten pneumonia in April, like around this time last year, I was out for like a week, and he let me slowly come back on my work, which is like, yeah, it shows that people are going to be strict about deadlines, but there is going to be some wiggle room depending on what you're doing.
Will those teachers make an everlasting effect on you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that they inspired me, but I'm still my own person.
Yeah.
So I don't think, I don't think I'd ever become a teacher, but not necessarily.
How did they inspire you then?
I don't know, just do your work.
Getting on your original for it. Like, I feel like I'm gonna remember these teachers throughout my entire life because, like, my mom will see one of her old teachers in public and say hi to them still.
Really?
Yeah. Like, and so does my grandma. Like, my grandma doesn't see them anymore, but she still talks about them. So I feel like teachers who have an impact on you and have an impact on your entire life, you will remember forever.
I think it'll get harder to remember, like, who they were, but not what they said,
I feel like a lot of, like, elementary school teachers, besides my 5th grade elementary school teacher, they didn't really have an impact on me because I was so young. But 5th grade, all the way up to like present day, most of my teachers I'll remember because they've had such an impact on me.
Well, that is all I have for you today. Thank you all for coming on this episode. I very much appreciate it. This episode, we got in more detail about middle school and high school. We're talking about expectations versus reality, our favorite memories from middle school, and even sharing our fears starting freshman year. Thank you for watching this episode of Growing Up with Maddy. See you next time.